integration. I feel like
one of the worst things ever happened to us.
This nigga here, grab the wheel, nigga. Grab the motherfucking wheel.
One of the worst things ever happened to us.
Tell us why though.
Cause nigga, our community, I was think back to when I was a younger nigga. Integration had already happened. I was born in 75, but integration had happened, but my community was still self-sustained. I didn't leave out of Acres home. I knew what white folks looked like. I had TV, you had a couple white cops, but police wasn't even allowed in the ghettos. My kinfolk is in the penitentiary for life. My entire community, everything was black. All the stores, everything. It wasn't an Asian, it wasn't a Middle Easterner, it wasn't shit. Everything in Acres Home, Texas was black. Then when I don't know at what point, man, it just changed, man, and they just started giving these people all these businesses and just siphoning the money up out of the community, and niggas fell in love with people that didn't look like them, and we put them on a pedestal over us. When they come here, they already got a preconceived notion of who we are and how we are. That's why they could so easily shoot us in the back thinking we running out of store with a fucking juice, because the white man told us our life ain't worth shit. So when they come here, they already got a preconceived. We don't own the narrative about what's being said about us. We don't control it. Now, social media makes it a little easier. It kind of puts it on a better playing field for us because motherfuckers can go directly to a source and see, but then they make sure to promote so much negativity about us online.
Yeah. Hey man, welcome back to another episode of Screwston Media TV. As always, I'm Freon, and I'm here to give you the latest exclusive media content. So let's get right to it. Smackwater. Shout out to Smackwater. He's an OG from Houston, Texas, from the northwest side of Houston, Texas. Acres Homes to be exact. If you don't know where Acres Homes is at, so like I said, it's on the north side of Houston. It's one of the more historic black communities in Houston. It used to be its own town in Houston before it got annexed, so there's a lot of history over there. A lot of people, that came up out of there. Slim Thug from the area. Slim Thug also from Homestead as well, but he grew up in Acres Home. Lil Mario, J-Dog. The list goes on of really, really, really dope artists that came from the Acres Homes areas, and also just people, just good people, period, came from Acres Homes for sure, man. But in this particular segment, I want to talk about Smackwater and what he said on the Split D interview about integration, and also about the narrative about Black Americans. Black Americans are people that was born here. Now I'm gonna have to agree with him about integration. Now, I do agree. Well, I do feel like integration is a good thing, but at the same time, it stopped the growth of black people, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because before integration, black people, we had to fend for ourselves. We had to build our own communities up, have our own fire department, have our own pharmacies, have our own grocery stores, gas stations, schools. Daycares. The list goes on. So before integration, black people, we was actually doing well for ourselves. Taking care of ourselves, our community, the kids in the community, the older people in the communities, and stuff like that. What integration did was essentially, it allowed outsiders to come into the communities and essentially buy up property, put their businesses in there, build schools, so all races can go to them schools. Essentially made us follow the rules of any other type of community that was integrated into a city, into a town, or whatever. Because like I said, Acres Homes used to be a small town, and it got annexed into Houston. And what that did was, now instead of a community like Acres Homes thriving on its own, now you gotta go to the city of Houston for water. You gotta go there for gas. You gotta go there for electricity. You gotta pay taxes. Certain things you can't do without the city permission. You can't build houses without the city permission. All this stuff has to go through the city now once you give up the rights of of being a small town and getting annexed into a major city. Now you gotta follow under that city jurisdiction and rules and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to agree, integration is the worst thing that ever, besides slavery, but integration is the worst thing that has ever happened to black people, because now instead of us thriving on our own and becoming an overall better race, we're still asking for handouts. We're still looking for the government to help us, still looking for people that truly don't care about us, wanting to help us. And to be honest, a lot of races don't like black people, especially black people that are born in this country. Even Africans, when they come from Africa, they can't stand the black people that was born here. Now, I'm not saying all of them, because I got friends that are African, but they themselves have told me that their family talk about the black Americans that's born here. They say we lazy. They say we don't do nothing. They say we don't take advantage of the opportunities, and which I agree to the most part, because a lot of us don't take advantage of the opportunities. But at the same time, the government pays these people from these other countries to come here and set up businesses for whatever the reason is. I'm not a person who deals with that type of data information, so I don't know the ins and outs, but I do know that people from other countries are oftentimes they get business loans faster than a black American that was born here. For whatever reason, I can't tell you, I don't have the numbers on that, but I know so many Middle Easterns that came here and got a loan and was able to open up gas stations and corner stores. Asians came over here, opened up beauty salons and Chinese food places, and list goes on. So as far as that, they do have an advantage when they come to this country, opposed to the Hispanics that's born here and the blacks that's born here. Now, like I said, blacks and Hispanics are lazy here as well. Like, let's just call it what it is. We can't just make it seem like that these people have oppressed us for so long. I feel like now we have more than a perfect opportunity to become something that we ever had in being in this country, for sure. So I would have to kind of disagree with that, because we do have more opportunities now, but some people aren't just taking advantage of it, and it is what it is. Some people just naturally lazy, and that's just what it is, But at the same time, we do know that other people from other countries do come here and get better opportunities, and that's just a fact. So if you don't agree with it, it is what it is. It's the truth. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So other races do get better opportunities to become something, get a scholarship, open up a business, get home loans, car loans, etc., etc. So that's just the facts on that. But Smackwater also talked about on Split D podcast, stuff like that. He also talked about the narrative of black people across the globe. Now that I do agree with as well, because when other races come here, they think the black Americans are just ghetto, obnoxious, don't care, don't take care of themselves, don't take care of their communities, pretty much just don't care about the well-being of themselves, and also for the betterment of their people. So that narrative is true, and that's why when other races come here, they think they better than us. I didn't work with other races, Asians, Middle Eastern, especially the Middle Easterns. They just had this thing to where they just feel like they just better than us, and I was able to get a business loan, or I know somebody that was able to get a business loan. You guys can't do that. You guys can't do this. So it is a narrative going around the world that black people that's born here are lazy. You know what I'm saying? We just, they look at us as just a disgrace of people. They just think we here basically just living just to live. And some of that can be true. There's people out here that are black that do just live and don't really have a purpose. So that's true, but that's true across any race. It ain't just the black people. And I tell people this all the time, like, black people, we gotta stop making it seem like we the only ones that do certain things that other races don't do, which is not true. The same things we do, other races do. But only difference is that we are broadcasted more on the news, on social media, on YouTube, just wherever. We always broadcasted more about, hey, in this community, this black community, this person did this, this person did that. oh, this community is not doing well, when there's plenty of communities with different races that are not doing well or that commit crimes, that do certain things that is not, like I don't want to say approved, but that is not the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It ain't just black people, it's all different types of races that go through the same type of things as well. Like, when we go move to a new community and the community is mostly white people or Middle Easterns, Asians and stuff like that, they don't want us there. They think we gonna come terrorize the neighborhood. But in reality, black people, we are running from the same things that these other races are running from. You think every black person wanna live in a neighborhood that's bad, they got crime, they got shootings, they got robberies, they got, kidnappings and jackings. Like, we don't wanna live in those communities either. But we get discriminated when we try to go live in a nice area where it's quiet, no noise, no crime, the crime is low, good schools, great restaurants, great grocery stores, all this type of stuff. But we get discriminated against. So that's why I say, like, being a black person, and I'm not making no excuses. I mean, I do my thing every day. I'm always gonna do me. I'm not gonna let nothing stop me. But it is a systematic thing that holds black Americans that was born here back. So we can't sit here and act like that's not true. That is very much true. We do get held back on certain type of loans, getting in certain type of schools. I mean, you can have a 3.8 GPA and then they'll pick another race that got a 3.6 GPA because this particular person is part of a certain type of race. Or jobs. Hey, a black person might be way more qualified, got 5 years of experience of doing X, Y, and Z, but they'll pick this other person from the other race because this person fits the mold of what they want in their company. Let's just call it what it is. So Smackwater's making a great point. I'm glad he's speaking on that because it's good to see somebody that's from the city. Not to say he the only one that's speaking on it, but that's from the city, that's from the communities we from, speaking on this because it is true. It is what it is. Like, we get over policed. Certain areas in Houston get over policed. You drive through there, you can see literally, like, being there a whole day, you will see 10, 15 police cars driving through there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it makes sense as well because there do be crimes in those certain type of areas. But when you go to the other rich areas, you don't see as much policing over there as well. So we know what it is, and this isn't a thing about I don't like the police, all that. I think police, the formation of police is actually a great thing. People cannot police themselves these days. This is not the 1600s, 1700s. People do need policing because people do some of the most wildest things. So police are a great thing. Let's just call it what it is. Whether you like the police or not, policing is a great thing. But the thing is, sometimes you got police officers that do things that aren't required of a police officer. And there's no need to speak on this video because we know what some certain police officers do in certain neighborhoods or in certain smaller towns. We know. We done seen the footage. We done seen the videos. We know. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I do think it needs to be a better communication with the police and the people from these communities that have been over-policed, but that still remain to be seen. So, like I said, shout out Smackwater, real one, from the north side of Houston, northwest side. He's from Acres Homes. Shout out Spliff D, another OG from Houston, you know what I'm saying? From the south side of Houston, South Park, you know what I'm saying? Another legendary neighborhood, that produced a lot of dope, great artists, dope, great people in general. So, hey man, y'all go check out the interview, man. Like, y'all not gonna want to miss the gems that's been thrown in that one, you know what I'm saying? But like always, if you like the content, subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, appreciate y'all for tapping in. 100.